Why do you think it's important to move towards things that scare you?
Because on the other side of that is your growth. On the other side of that is strength. Even in going through pain, like I look at pain as a positive thing. I'm not talking about putting yourself through pain on purpose, but it's just like working out. You know, the only way you're gonna get strength in your life is if you go through that hard moment, that tough moment. I wouldn't have a story if it wasn't for the sucky times in my life. I wouldn't have a story if it wasn't for me going through my depressed moments. So realize this, just because it's a chapter, it doesn't mean it's your whole story. So for me, I just understand that it's very important to embrace pain, to go through it, because I believe the foundation of all strength is pain.
Do you worry about pushing too hard? Do you worry about not pushing enough? Like, what does that relationship look like?
Just gotta push you to do something. I'm there to support you, but if I gotta push you to do it, it means you really don't wanna do it. So this whole process, I mean, he's 10 years old, and people thought like, you know, you see kids playing at 5 and 6 and their dad is like, you know, going super hard on their kids, and I get it. But at the end of the day, I want him to want sports. I want him to want football. Like, you want to be a doctor, that's fine with me, but you got to understand the same mindset to be successful, you can take that in any field. So you're going to play sports for the simple fact that I know this can build you up for whatever you want to do. It teaches you perseverance. It teaches you how to handle pressure moments. It teaches you how to work hard. The ethics of like sports is great. But at the end of the day, I'm like, Tristan, I can want you to be a superstar, but when you really want it, like when it's like when you wake up at 6 a.m. without me waking you up, when you say, hey, I want to go work on routes without me telling you, that's when you'll be a beast, and that's when you'll be super successful.
How do you help people begin to take stock of where they're at with themselves?
Reality. So I have a rehab process, and the first R is reality. It's facing your reality. Too many people run from it. You know, my quote is, you'll never win your war by running from your battles. And so you got to step up and you got to face it. I don't care what it is. It might be something in your past. It might suck to face it. For me, it was facing that my dream was over, my identity. So for somebody watching this, it might be a relationship, it might be a job, but I kept running. And the thing about it, like, you can run all you want, but reality is going to be right there when you stop, and it's going to chase you. Or even if it doesn't chase you, it's going to be right there. You have to face it. So I really let people know that acknowledgement is power. People think if I acknowledge that I'm hurt or I need help is the most powerful thing that you can say. And I realized that in my life, because immediately you have people that are going to help you and grow your life. Exposing yourself, like in a positive way, obviously, but expose yourself. We think that we always have to be so sheltered, that we have to be so strong, especially with the social media world. It's like, oh, I have to have everything together. That's like a silent depression that's going to happen. When you suppress things like that, when you smile for the camera but die behind the scenes, which I did so well for so long in my life, you're never gonna fool the person that you see in the mirror every single day. So I got really comfortable with saying, I suck at this. I need help. And literally in my business life, in my personal life, in the last year, it's been the greatest year of my life, just by asking for help and exposing my weaknesses in certain areas. Successful at it.
Trying to improve yourself. You are trying to be great. You are trying to be strong and tough. You're just not afraid.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah. Like, how do you do both?
I'm real with myself, and I'm honest. Like, we're humans. I mean, everybody isn't on all the time. You know, we all have our struggles, our silent battles, as I like to call them. And instead of ignoring those silent battles, I let them out. But yes, I am a person will tell you, make the world respect your greatness. I'm very firm on that. I'm a person that believes in myself. I'm a person that wants you, because I believe that's contagious. Like, even with social media, I feel like that's what really grew my platform, is people looked at my life, not because of my knowledge or whatever. It's like, Trent really believes this. Like, he really does. He really lives it. He doesn't just talk it or type it. He lives it, and that's a big thing for me. You know, I can tell people a secret, right? Be transparent, like in a real way, because that creates connection. Now it's like, I can relate to that person. You know, growing up in the church, I'm gonna be real with you, Tom. Like, I would watch pastors and preachers, and I would be like, I could never be them. Because it was always perfection. It was like, I could never be them. So I just chose a different lifestyle. But now when I see people like say, you know what, I struggle with this. I struggle with addiction. Doesn't mean you're not awesome because you have addictions. Everybody has addictions. Everybody has battles. Some people just hide theirs better. So I relate more to that, because now it becomes attainable. Now you become relatable to me, and I can be like, wow, like, I can still grow through this. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm a human. I'm gonna have my insecurities, my flaws, and I can actually grow from it. So I think we need more examples of the world of that. And that's what I just try to give people as much as I can. If people say, oh, Trent, you changed my life. And I'm totally against that. Like, I'm like, I didn't change your life. I'm not a life changer. I just plant seeds. Like, you had to make the decision to actually apply and actually do it, working harder than 99% of the people in the world. You know, it's very, very hard. And for me, it was all I ever wanted and knew. It was like no other option for me. So that's the powerful thing about tunnel vision, is that when you really focus on something, you really want it, it's very possible. But the thing is, a lot of people aren't willing to go through the hard times, put in the work when nobody's looking. I think I tell my son all the time, I'm like, okay, you went to track practice, but guess what? This is something that everybody does. What are you gonna do that your teammates aren't doing? Because you don't have to just be the best on your team, you gotta be the best in your city, the best in your state, one of the best in the world to be able to make it. So it's a whole different level of commitment, and that's where that championship mindset, it came to me from.